Hey, everybody, and welcome to Where Did the Rest of Me Go? It's a 30-day show where every day I'm going live at in the evening as best I can, and discussing how I kind of changed my entire life. It's been quite a whirlwind the last few days. I just started this a few days ago, last Friday, and pretty much the world exploded for me. My one of my older brothers passed away, and it's kind of brought a whole bunch of stuff into light. So I'm going to keep on going with the series just to explain kind of my story and how I think it can help everybody. So please like, share, subscribe to the channel so you can see more. I try and give updates as to what I'm doing on a daily basis, both here and on Instagram and on Facebook as well. So, but YouTube, I am trying to get going and grow. So, any support is greatly appreciated because I really think that I think this is important stuff that a lot of us don't talk about. So, I really feel like this is something that can benefit more than just myself, others, and so on and so forth. But to get back to the point today, what I wanted to talk about was specifically the idea of, hey, what's happening, Walkie Talkies Janine? Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. I know I've been a little bit erratic with the posting, but I'm going to try and stick to 10 o'clock. It's a good time for me. I just got to make sure that it works for everything else. Now, um, one of the things that definitely helped get me to this point is personal accountability. And I've made jokes on stage about the idea that there's a new trend where people go, I'm holding myself personally accountable, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's very important that we try and understand better what accountability really means because on our daily life, I think we strive to achieve versus trying to create a foundation that's repeatable on a daily basis, like that comfort, that idea of things. And one of those things is, like I said in the beginning, was I got a feeling like I'm surrounded by people that love me. I have been my whole life, and that's very fortunate for me. And I know that's not everyone's circumstance, and that's very an important part of becoming an adult and being comfortable with who you are is if the people around you accept you. And that's kind of that whole adage, if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. You're like, ta-da, it can go either way. But when you hold yourself personally accountable, I know that a lot of people are like, well, you're just going to feel guilty for what you do and stuff like that. And maybe that may be a thing. It's more so kind of figuring out, why do you feel guilty? Um, and then conducting yourself that alleviates that guilt. And that's one of those things where it involves a daily challenge to grow for yourself. Like this whole time, like I said, I was very close when we were young. Between me and my brother, we only had 2 years difference. He was 2 years older than I am. And one of the things that differed was that I try and hold myself accountable. And that's led to things like depression and general sadness and sometimes just being a shitty person. I'll be the first one to say that because nobody's perfect. That's just anyone who says that they think they are or they're in a perfect situation. You're like, you're not. You probably just don't understand what's happening. And that's, it's one of those things where it's like you could go one way and let that feeling of accountability swallow you up versus the other way where you can help allow it to help you guide you forward, if that makes any sense. And that's one of the things where a while ago, and I had discussed this with my wife, was a while ago I started feeling in a way where I wanted to make sure that oh, thank you, Michael Bryan. Yeah, I came from a show. I've been trying to get use out of my suits before I'm too small to wear them. So I'm busting them out for this show and trying to keep them on. So, but like giving someone else power to dictate how you feel about a situation is a real betrayal of yourself. It really does make you feel horrible. I don't know anyone who has succumbed to that feeling of letting someone anger them or dictate how they should feel about a subject. I've never seen that happen in a positive way. Thank you, Michael Bryan. I really appreciate your support. Thanks, buddy. And that's one of the key components of holding ourselves accountable is I think we've all heard it before. Trying to uh, tell someone what they're doing is wrong, go to hell. Nobody wants to hear you, right? And that idea of well, I was trying to just be helpful. Okay, for who? Who? Yeah, then I hope this helps, Michael Bryan, because honestly, it's changed my life, and that was one of the things was I can't control what other people do, right? I can't. That's impossible, and there's no way to control them that isn't going to turn around later and have them resent you, be angry with you, or just completely rebel about against your relationship. It's a fair thing because nobody wants to be controlled, right? Even now, what we see in the media, how the media is trying to control us on a daily basis, which has been going on for decades, whether we realize it or not. When people kind of, I believe the term would be red pilled, I guess, maybe, I don't know. But when people wake up to that idea that we're being um, fed propaganda on a regular basis, and that's not to say it's political, just in general, we're told where to look and how to feel about it. Um, Once you realize how that is, it's quite enraging. You feel a sense of betrayal that someone's manipulated you, right? Whereas for yourself, for your own existence, if you are able to look at a situation from a outside perspective, you know, that's a huge step forward to your personal growth. And then you kind of expand that, well, I can understand exactly what's happening, so how does this affect me, right? So here, the one thing that I am 100% in control of is my attitude towards it. Exactly, and it's very easy to spot when you're being manipulated. So, and now I'll tell you this much, and this is my experience: is I am definitely a wizard of words. And if given the opportunity to type something out, and I'm getting better at the verbal ability of that wizardry, is you can change a person's perspective very quickly. Now, that's a very effective skill, but it's like a nuclear weapon. You need to be very careful with something, and not like a nuclear weapon, no, like something radioactive material. You have to be careful how you do that. You have to be careful how it's held, how it's distributed, how it's maintained. All those things factor in because if you're manipulating people for your own personal gain or just for their personal ruin, you're a garbage person, right? And that's horrible. You don't that is it's only a matter of time before that catches up to you. And I know for myself, there's been times when I felt like garbage. Today was one of them. I'll be honest with you. And I talked with a friend, because I said I don't think I'm being a piece of garbage, but I need to check this out because having people that you can trust that you know have your best interest in mind mean that you can have a um, kind of a quality control on your perspective. And I know that that's one of those things where it seems ridiculous, right? It's my opinion. My opinion is XYZ. So how could it be wrong? It's my opinion very easily. And we all get wrapped into that so very often. And that's why I think with this, like today, that was really on my mind was the idea of how, and that's not a quick thing, eh? That's been years of me trying to hold myself accountable. And I'm telling you, you can fail every day and it's just worth trying again over and over. I've known Dino for years. He is definitely a wizard of words. That's true. I've seen him turn a show into a good one with a bunch of comics who all hated each other. But that's, listen, a kind word goes so far. And even some new friends that I've met through comedy, because I've started doing comedy live in person more often now, um, where I said, you know what, I just want to be funny. Some of the things I can say are mean. They really are. I'll be the first one to admit that. But if you deliver it kindly, and so people are aware that it's a joke, it's not that bad. It's really not, and that's having an understanding of how people work, but also knowing like I come on the stage and I always will self-deprecate. Why? Because I know I'm not perfect. And I used to be 500 pounds. So now, like today, with all the turmoil and things that are happening, uh I weighed in at 300, 300, so 300.8, which felt great. It felt, even with all that turmoil and sadness and heartache that I'm going through, and trying to maintain my personal existence, that brought me a lot of joy. And I deserve to feel joy for that because I did that. I did that, and um I'm taking those steps seriously, and I'm holding myself accountable. Like today I didn't want to work out. I was exhausted. It was a horrible day for me, and had worked out in the morning. Then I had to go to the thing, and then I bounced because I wasn't happy with the situation. And when I came home, I just tried to just one step at a time it, and that was the real success of the day. Was I went out and I did some improv, and that was very enjoyable. It was some of it was horrible, some of it was good. Check out Who's Doing Improv. So I post a lot about it on Instagram, so please like and subscribe there too. But that's one of the things that I think has made the difference this time. I think that's my default as a comedian. I go for the joke first, so I don't have to cry in the corner. Absolutely, and that's also a defense mechanism for us as a person, right? We try and do better. We try and, hey, let's lighten the situation. Baby steps, my man. Baby steps. Keep up your hard work. It's paying off, and that's like, listen, it's a momentous day for me to break that 300 mark, and obviously, when you make some sort of achievement, you're immediately like, "I'm gonna celebrate." No, that's I believe that's what you can compare to, like, the arrive syndrome, where you get to that milestone, you're like, "Ah, now I can relax," and you're like, "No, now the work starts," and that's one of those things where you keep yourself accountable. Is the idea that you can have the celebration for your success. That's a worthwhile. You deserve the reward. But the reward sometimes is just the knowledge that you've done right by yourself, and that's okay too. It's really paying off. It's great to see you happy and inspired. And you know what? And that's the thing, is that's what I'm trying to hold on to here, because the longer I hold on to it, we all fall off that horse. We fall off so often, so often, and it could be just a cold or an injury or something, or even just a poor interaction, or something that we thought was going to work and didn't work, and it could just take the wind out of our sails. And if we hold ourselves accountable and say, well, am I being reasonable? Does this really affect me? How can I move forward? Makes a difference, right? Thank you, honey. You're doing amazing. Stay strong. That's one of the things, I've been hashtagging everything with this, is failure is part of success. And it goes back to that idea where they didn't they figured out 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb, and then one that made it. It did it. Do you celebrate the failures? No, nobody cares. But without those failures, you're not getting anywhere. Probably shouldn't be drinking coffee this late, but that's what I'm going to do. And that's really where I'm at right now. Is holding yourself personally accountable is one of those things that is, um, it feels impossible until you start doing it, and then once you get used to it, you get quicker. You get quicker and be like, am I dictating my feelings, or am I being dictated? It's a valid point. It's a valid concern. I think that's where I want to leave it for today, and really think about that. I think that's the next stage in this evolution that I wanted to explain. So thank you all for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, anybody who needs it, because you know what? I'm just trying to um to hold myself accountable, and to help as many people I can. I know it kind of, but seeing you doing well inspires other people to, and you know what? I've had a few people who have messaged me that, and honestly, it brings me a lot of joy. So thank you all for messaging me that. Thank you very much, Walkie Talkers, and thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you later.